What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the To Be Lab podcast. This is Saints in Pairs, episode 18. Back after, I think it's been 2 months or so since our last episode. Both of us were scrambling trying to figure out how do we do podcasts again? It's good to be back. It's good to be back. A lot to talk about, a lot to dive into today, I feel. Even though I've seen you obviously like 5 times a day. I mean, 5 times a week. Let's calm down.
5 times a day is crazy. Except I feel like you were like, you want the pod. Well, I want the pod too, but you're like, the pod is a different space. It's a different atmosphere. And I think you get a different version of me. And yourself. So you're like,
Yeah,
let's
dude.
run it.
There's something about this. You hit record and like there's something that it's its own thing. And apparently when I'm doing my solo pods, people are like, I miss Andres. So we gotta bring you on. So that's why that's really the reason I brought you on, to be honest, is because I'm just a crowd pleaser. I gotta make sure my fans are happy.
Oh, you're ridiculous, bro. I'm just here because I'm trying to talk with you. This guy's crazy. This is what he does for this. This is what he does for the audience, bro. The one person in the comments that dropped that, he switched up the whole MO. That's crazy.
How you doing today, man?
Good. More settled, excited, momentum, and I have a lot of good questions for you.
Perfect.
I'm gonna like inundate with you with love, bro. Sorry, keep going.
I can't wait.
I don't even know if it is love as much as it is just like yeah. I like this idea of like wanting to outdo people with generosity or intention. And it's like, bro, if you compete with me and I'm competing with you and I'm being more generous,
That's a good deal.
it's a great deal.
Rising tide,
Exactly.
Shall we do a 1 minute grounding? I almost forgot we do that until right now. So
Please.
All right. So audience, please join. And those listening, please join if you can. Just go and close your eyes. Take a couple of deep breaths in and out. Feel your feet on the ground or wherever it's touching. Feel your butt on the chair or the sofa or the car seat or wherever you are. And kind of trace up your body till you get to your head. Take your time. Minute there. But 1 minute meditations don't even make sense to me anymore. I dropped in so deep into that, and I was like, timer just went off.
Bro, I love how we're about to do a float. Can we tell the audience what we're about to do in like an hour and a half?
Please. The thing that I wasn't planning on doing until like 20 minutes ago. Yeah.
Dude, so I heard that a float tank is incredible for your nervous system. So I'm gonna try one today, and Akash is a great sport, and he's gonna come with me.
Is this not your first time? I thought
I was supposed to do it 2 days ago, and then I didn't make it. And then I actually accidentally missed today by accident. So I was like, well, I'll do it at 5:30.
Sick. I'm looking forward to it. I have no idea what we're signing up for, to be honest. But
it's apparently an experience. So we need, I mean, as we are in all things, like we want to experience and know what it's like, and then we'll make our own conclusion.
Yeah.
How, dude, what a good day for us to do the pod when you like texted me saying, I'm tired. Don't know if we should do it today. Do you want to try to do it this weekend? And then I was thinking about the questions I had written for you, and a lot of the topics is around tension. So I was like, maybe you could start off by saying how it feels right now. What's the tension you have inside you right
Dude, I love you. Thank you for pushing for this. I had something click today. Something beautiful click today. And I think this pod happening is a part of it. So I think you've also been going through this in your own way, but I've been struggling with sleep the last couple of months. Just like staying up later than I need to, and then sleeping in. And then the worst part about it is how I feel when I wake up in the morning, and I feel like I did something wrong. Like, oh,
now?
you should have done that. You should have turned off your screen an hour before bedtime. You should have, meditated or whatever. Like you should have should. There's all this guilt about you're feeling tired this morning because you didn't do something that you're supposed to have done the night before. And today I woke up and I was like, what if I didn't tell myself that? What if I just didn't sleep well because I didn't sleep well? And that's it. And I can still feel like I can still function normally. Like I also have this story of like, if I don't get my full 8 hours, then I can't perform optimally. I can't show up in conversations. So that's why I sent you that text. I was like, hey Andres, I'm feeling like I don't have a lot of energy right now, and I didn't sleep well last night, and I don't know if I want to do the pod because I don't want to show up only half of me for this podcast. But you know what I did this morning? I had a call with someone at 9 who reached out to me online on Twitter. We had just like this amazing conversation. I had a coaching client come through at 10, and after that is when I texted you. But when I woke up at like what it was like 8 or something like that, I was like, I'm just not going to buy into the story. And then the story came back. So the tension I'm in is like this oscillating between remembering these things and going back into the old patterns and remembering. And I think I'm just tired of I am tired of this tension. Like something clicked also with my coach yesterday around tension. She called me out on something that I didn't realize was happening. To answer your question directly, which is basically like, I think I've made tension some part of my identity where it's like, it's just a part of me. And like, and even though it's true, it's tension is here. It's like, I don't allow myself to feel anything else. If I'm always saying things like the tension is here, this tension is here, tension is away. So I'm learning to sit with, she asked me this prompt of like, what happens if the idea of tension just never exists for you? Like what in your body happens? And I told her like, it's a divide by zero error. Like it does not compute in my body. I just feel like everything is like short circuiting inside of me. And she was gently pointing me like, that's the place to learn to occupy. It's that emptiness. So you asking me that, I'm sure you had, I don't know where, I'm curious where you're asking that from. But the fact that you asked me, that's really funny because this has been very alive for me in a very like kind of different way over the last 24 hours.
Of course. I mean, but it's been on your mind for at least 2 weeks now. So like, it makes sense. It's been evolving every day, the way you relate to even that relating to it. I have my list of questions here, but before we go into that, dude, how did the call go with this stranger on Twitter this morning? And how did the session go with the coachee?
It was awesome. So I write on Twitter. I do social media. I'm trying to experiment with my expression on different platforms. Like TikTok has its own version of expression. Twitter has its own version. And I have links to my link tree where people can schedule. And I've had it out for a long time and I don't really get many hits. If I've maybe gotten like 1 or 2 in the last like year. In the last 2 weeks, I've felt something opening up with my writing. I just feel freer to speak what's on my heart, what's on my mind, the things I'm noticing, the things I'm connecting. And this guy earlier in the week scheduled a call. He was like, "Hey, I've been following you on Twitter. He said, I'm feeling drawn to you, and I'd love to like have a conversation." So we talked today, and he's like, he's in his mid 20s, and basically he was like, he asked me something so interesting. He was like, it's really funny if he watches this too, because he asked me, I listened to your podcast, your solo episode when you talked about your journey, which I have on this podcast in a different video. And I also talked to someone else who has talked about this idea of like a divine mother. And this person, or he, I'm not sure, he or she talks about this divine mother as if like there's a certainty, there's a conviction, there's like this knowing that like this idea of a divine mother is real. And he's like, I have been basically agnostic my whole life. I haven't believed in anything. I don't know if anything was real. I don't know if God is real. But when I heard you talk about God in your video, I also felt the same certainty, the same conviction. There's like this knowing, this, and I was like, and he asked me like, how'd you get that? Like, what is that? And I was like, what a beautiful question. Like, what a beautiful question. Because I remember being in his shoes not that long ago, like wondering, is this stuff real? Like, how do I trust? And I'm like, dude, the fact that you're picking up this signal in two people and probably what many others, just keep following whatever's alive for you. Like it'll come together is all I basically told him. Because that's how it started with me. And I think that's how it starts with all of us. It's like the fact that you can recognize that at all, that's proof that it's real. Oh.
And then how did it go with the coachee?
It is. I feel so much joy with coaching. It is.
There's a specific question I want to ask you, but I won't make you say it out loud on the pod. But did you resign?
Yes. Yes. Yes, he did. And we're gonna run the strat that we talked about at Mount Bonnell. So or Bonnell. Yeah.
That's so up.
Yeah, dude. He's telling me like people are noticing he's different. His fiance is noticing he's more grounded. His business partner, like he feels more connected to. Like all these things are starting to change for him. And our sessions, they're so free flowing. They're not structured. They're not like, I'm not trying to follow some this or that. Like it's giving me so much confidence that like I have this intuition that said, don't box yourself into some framework because that's what everyone else does. And if others who do that, beautiful, like it works for them, right? For me, there's like something else, something that's more me that's asking. And I've been trusting it. And like, I'm still like not even able to hold how much just joy and love I feel about this. It's like I could just be me and like it helps people. And I feel whole in the process. And I can see this person, like I can see him changing. We've only had 4 sessions, dude. I can feel this man literally transforming.
I feel like it's validating the deepest part of who you are.
Yeah.
And like for such a long time, you had this knowing, but you're like, yeah, but should I trust it? Like, is it worth trusting? What other people find resonance? Can I actually coach in a way where like people are like, where are you taking me? And it's like you just had this thing of the right people will understand and they'll feel my essence and they'll know and they want to have conversations with me, they'll get it and they'll pay me money for it. And it's like, yeah, bro, good marketing strategy. And then and then it's like as it starts to work, you're like, oh, this actually is real. And that's like the most, again, it's like so like when I think of Akash, I think of that essence. And the more that people, it's so, there's a certain type of people that I think resonates so deeply with your way of moving. And that's enough. Like even I've heard Carl Jung had types of therapy for people that were creative and people that were not creative. And it's the same. You can't all the modalities, all the box stuff that he would do for non-creatives, he said throw it out the window because you're not working with the same type of person. And I feel like you're operating in a different like frame.
Yeah.
And it's gonna touch these people differently.
I just like dude, it's like what we talk about all the time. Like I just want to be with the person in front of me. Like I don't even see it as like he's a coachee to me. Like I almost resist calling myself a coach. Like there's no hierarchy in this.
Yeah.
Like and this guy's I could not have asked for a more perfect first client. Honestly, like I've always wanted to work with founders. I've always wanted to work in my own way, and this guy's like constantly asking me, "Hey man, like let me know when you're ready to like talk through marketing and how to position yourself and how we can really start building your practice because I want to help." Like, dude. By the way,
Literally,
he
so
runs a
clean.
performance marketing agency. You know, like he does he knows this world, and his company is very successful. So I'm just like just thank you. I just thank God, you know, for this gift. And yeah, it's been incredible working with this person. Like some sessions we'll sit in my apartment and we'll just talk and we'll do a little bit of guided meditations. Sometimes I'm like, I feel like going for a walk. Let's go for a walk. We'll go for a walk. We'll talk about things. Like there's no structure to it. There's a structure to it, but it's not like the way you might think of structure.
It's so much more real and alive though. Like I feel like the best stories I've heard about therapists or in this domain is the same, right? You just say, oh, exposure therapy, right? Sometimes they actually go into the real world. They don't like cemeteries. You go to a cemetery. You go to a coffee shop, get your social fear out. Like you're doing life with them. You're doing life with it. It's not this like cage.
Yeah. Because there's nothing wrong with this person. Like that's the thing. There's nothing freaking wrong with him. Like there's just like little things that he believes that are true, and we're just slowly dismantling it. And he's like, "Oh my god, I have so much love in me. Like what the fuck?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he has the same wounding I have, which also is like it makes it very familiar. He has a lot of shame and guilt he moves with. Of course, right? Of course.
Of course.
Yeah. So it was a great today was a great session. Like really, it was probably our best one yet. I also felt the most.
And today was the day you retired. Isn't that crazy? Just remember that,
bruh. Absolutely.
you were saying.
No, I was just saying that this was a session I felt the most like comfortable just moving in my truth. The last couple, I'm like, there's a little bit of like hesitation of saying the thing I think I want to say because the trust is still forming. But something's been clicking in the last couple of days where I can speak freely. I can just say what's on my heart. And trust that even if it's a little bit like hard to receive, like there's moments where he was like, dude, I feel really heavy after this, but like it's not a bad heavy. It's just like, wow, like that's there. And I'm like, beautiful that you even see that. Like we were tracing how he has this tendency to he believes he needs to work hard to earn people's love. And we traced it to every domain of his life, not just his business. These beliefs they manifest in every freaking aspect, every avenue. And the moment he connected it, his whole body, we were walking and he was like, holy shit, and that was such a like, I felt the grief of that because like I know that grief. That grief is so real. That's the grief of abandoning yourself your whole life.
This guy's talking to them like a soul level. Like he's like, oh, I'm only saying this because I've been here. I've lived in this place.
Yeah, man.
Dude, it makes me so happy to see you in this. Like, I mean, just months ago we were like, how do you get a client? How do you do this? How do you do that? I trust my intuition, but like you hadn't had it manifested, and it's just like so life giving to see it form.
Yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you. Can I flip it back to you for a second?
Please.
What's like? I feel like just asking you a general question. I know we talked yesterday or 2 days back about this, or just in general. But like, what is
My
what is
skinny.
on? Yeah, what's the skinny? What's the fatty? What's on your heart, man? Like like just lay it out. I would love to know what's on your heart.
I have like three great threads coming up right now of like at on Sunday of this last week, I had not been sleeping well for like a couple weeks. Like it was pretty bad. Getting up at 4 every day. Um, there's a lot of reasons for that. Some stress, but like some stuff from my past that were like, yeah. It was something had like triggered me from like my deepest wounding, and it was like almost the same exact. It was so full circle. Like 5 years later, same exact thing. Um, and then the stress of like wanting to get specifically a sales engineering role, this and that. And my body, I think, was trying to tell me something, and I just didn't know how to listen. Um, and I haven't even told this to my parents yet, so it'll be wild if they like watch this pod first. Um, but at the start of the week, on Sunday night, I was talking to a friend, and I was like, I think I want to do something. Like I've known I want to do something in the therapeutic or like coaching domain, but there's so many cognitions I have around it. Like I'm a failure, the prestige equivalent of like engineering versus being a therapist. Like it's just, you know, and every day I've just done this like steady thing of getting more information, like reached out to the schools, started to think about what would my life be like if I was like going to classes in person versus online, figuring out are the evening classes or not, what's the number, how much did it cost again, like talking to students from the schools. And every day, and I've opened up to more people about it, I'm like, this is what I'm considering. And I started off with like a lot of like again, my identity, like the tension, the oscillation around this. And now it's only Friday, and like I've ruled out a couple different schools. I've been living into this idea of like, do I have to make a commitment right away? The consensus has now come to this one school that I thought I was gonna write off completely is now like really speaking my name. It is an online program. It does start in June, so like literally like in a month and a half. Um, you have to go in person for the first cohort, like for like a 4 day window, meet everybody, and it's just like so. It's starting to excite me for the first time. Before it's just been like nerving, and I've been seeing it as like I'm just discerning. Like I'm just taking the next step, which is to start the cohort, start the thing. If I want to transfer to this other program later, maybe. If I want to not do it at all, maybe. But like I lose nothing by starting, and I have the time. It's so obvious that this is like my type of calling. I like don't like that language, but I'm starting to be more like comfortable with it. Like my nature, like that story that I've told you about the scorpion and the monks on the side of the road. Like my essence is like you. It's to be with people. It's just my essence, bro. Like it's just how I with everybody I love. I've like having this craving to understand their psyche, like to understand their inner world, and I've had it since I was a kid. So I'm ignorant to like think that that's not me. Um, but yeah, so I'm finally like excited to be, and there's so many things about when I applied a year and a half ago or 2 years ago that I wasn't ready or like I hadn't developed yet or had not been integrated, and now like is. Like before the start of our pod, like I was figuring out how to push away Christianity. Somewhere in the middle of the pod, I was trying to be like, how do I integrate Christianity and Jesus? And like this program, one of them's like a Christian school, one of them's like not. And I think of the Christian school, I was like, bro, this is gonna be straight dog water. Um, and now I'm like kind of having this interesting moment of like, I think I'm just gonna see how the summer class is, because there's some like Christianity does have this warm undertone, and like a school where the students have this type of intentionality, the teachers have this type of intentionality, there's a warmth that can come with that. And I'm like, for some reason I just keep feeling that I'm supposed to experience what this is like, and it's a smaller classroom setting, like 20 to 1 ratio maybe, student to faculty or faculty. And like um it's like a 2 year course and or program, and I'm like, I get to keep doing the things I already love in my life. I'm really efficient. Like this is just gonna be a beautiful add-on. and it gives me credibility towards where I want to go anyways. Um, so and that's the moment I like realized this, that last Sunday, I like slept for the first time all night that I had in like weeks. And I've been sleeping like great every day this week. Um, so that's what I wanted to say for like the pod's sake. The other thing is that I've had like this, this like a slew of friends and like group of friends. There's like 5 people specifically in mind that the more I'm able to drop my guard with them and they drop their guard with me, the more these tensions we talk about in my body or whatever, or these like narratives or like these weird beliefs I have about myself are just like dissolving. Um, yeah, it's, I want to talk about it like in detail, but it's kind of, there's some stuff like even for one of these girls, it's like very personal to like share this thing about somebody else. So I'm gonna refrain from it. But I think my wounding, I'm realizing like you found out with your the person you're coaching, like these friends of mine have the same exact wounding, and it's like, of course, right? And we're all like repatterning together and like healing together. Um, and it can take moments where like I feel this sense of like emptiness and like loneliness and kind of like, do I even feel loved and belonged? And then we'll have a conversation, and it's like I just go to bed smiling, and I just wake up smiling, and like the little cognition that wants to come in around like something fearful or whatever just like starts to fade. And that's been happening on repeat for like this week has just been magic.
Can I ask you about? I have a question, and obviously go as deep as you feel comfortable with it. Um, Obviously, when we hang out, like you tell me a lot about this group of friends recently that has come into your life, and you guys have just gotten so close so fast. Um, it's so. I love the stories that you share. It's so wholesome. Um, and I want to know like how. Let me figure out what the question here is. Like, what do you think it is that lets you walk into these types of friendships? Like I feel like you have
Man,
these experiences with different people, and it's just like you just go like you just your soul's touch. Like you just like your soul. So what is it that you feel that's like letting that happen?
question. I think I'm just someone that like, I mean, you can speak to this too, right? You've been my friend. You've seen how this evolved. Um, I think I just wear my heart on my sleeve, even after even the years and the months or whatever, or moments where I feel scared to do it or like hurt or like, am I really gonna say this to somebody? Like I've been bodied before. I just, I go there with people early and like, there's some semblance of like, yeah, I get a feeling that they can go there, and then I'll say the thing, and or I'll just point something out. Sometimes it's just like even confidence. Like the first time I saw something in the way that this girl was thinking, and then I just told her my own personal story of like, yeah, like I definitely have. Like I don't even think I've said this out loud on a pod before, and I'm like changing my whole cognition around like labels and stuff. But like I definitely have. I've had PTSD from stuff before, for sure. And the more I'm realizing, there's so many people that I know that are in the same exact boat. So common. And I remember I just dropped her super casually at like this dinner, and she like stopped. We didn't know each other that well at this time. And then everyone's like keeps eating and talking, and she just like leans over to me and she's like, did you get diagnosed with that, or like what's the status? And I was like, no, it wasn't formal at the time, but I just know. I've read enough on this. Like I just know what's going on. And she felt so seen because she was in the same boat, except she got diagnosed. And so she's like, imagine this, right? You're a normal girl, you're going about your life, something happens to you, you don't know what the hell's going on. You go to counseling, and then you're like, I can't figure it out, I can't figure it out. This person's like, this is what you got. And then you're like in this weird, like, am I fucked up? What's going on with me? What does this mean? How do I live? How do I move forward? Like, am I supposed to hide this from people for the rest of my life? Like, and then certainly you just meet this dude and he just says this, right? He just normalizes a thing that's like a stigma. I'm doing it right now in a pod. Like, oh, I have PTSD. Congrats. Yeah. Everyone who knows me and sees me,
Same.
like, congratulations. You're a human being and you have trauma. Everybody has trauma. I'm just saying it in a more formal sense. Uh, yeah, so I just normalized something scary. I just normalized something scary, and then suddenly she feels safe, and she's like, "Actually, I'm really scared. Like, I don't know what to
Mm,
do about this. I'm actually terrified because I used to feel normal, and now I feel sick. And here's this dude who makes me feel normal, who makes me feel like okay, who makes me feel loved, who makes me feel like okay, maybe there's like a light at the end of the tunnel with this." And I'm talking about it so nonchalantly, and also with this sense of like, yeah, I've researched this for a long time because I was trying to figure out what's going on. Um, and sure enough, I just do that consistently and consistently, and this person watches me share layers of myself for weeks that no one will ever say out loud until she gets to a place where she says she starts doing the same. It's like this person has given me the keys to his heart and I can like shatter him with it. He doesn't even seem to care, right? In the inside, there's moments where I care, yes, but I don't know. It's
wow.
you know what I
You
mean?
know, dude, absolutely. It's to me, it's almost silly to not operate in that way. It's like what you're doing basically is like, hey, I have. First of all, there's so many ways I can like try to articulate this, but basically, these negative emotions, these labels, these conditions, these whatever you want to call it, right? Whatever from a psychological perspective, there's psychological disorders and all these things, and then from the day to day human standpoint, we experience low emotions or uncomfortable emotions like shame and guilt and sadness and these things, right? And when you just orient yourself in a way where these emotions no longer feel like they're wrong, or this trauma I had when I was younger doesn't mean I'm broken. It's just something that happened to me, and
Mhm,
there's a residue of that in my life. Instead of it becoming this like imprint on your conscience of like, oh, I'm a broken person because my therapist had a PTSD. It's like, no, like what if that's beautiful? Like I actually
mhm,
understand there's a pattern to why I am the way I am, and this helps me see myself more clearly and love myself more clearly. Like we kind of have a choice in how we want to interpret these things, right? And like if we're feeling low some days, it's like, do you want to we can either be like, hey, I am just someone who's angry all the time. I just feel angry. And then or it's like I'm just feeling anger passing through like the clouds in the sky, and I'm not going to like make a story out of it, And so you're just going in there and you're just like modeling like wholeness, like, hey, I'm okay with
mhm,
this. I've arrived in my own way through my own research, through my own experiences, that like this is a part of who I am and I accept it, and it's okay. And when someone else feels like they're allowed to tell themselves I also have PTSD, like, and it doesn't mean I'm a bad person, there's something wrong with me or I'm broken. Like, dude, that is healing. Like breaking that stupid story we had that these things are bad or wrong or they mean something about our worth as human beings.
mhm.
Like they're just part of, like, we're just moving through it. Like it's okay. It's okay.
It's so freeing when one can get to the point, and I've been thinking about a lot of what you said a couple of nights ago, and I'll get to that. But like when you can live in a way where you can share everything, everything, every internal dialogue, your biggest fears, what's going on the outside, like what's actually happening in your life with the world who won't understand it sometimes, and still just be okay. Like that's freedom.
Yeah. It's
You
all it
said it
is.
you said it to me the other day where you're like, it's the bravest thing to like put your actual thoughts on social media where it's going to be misunderstood and not truly like known, and just do it anyways. I was like, damn, yeah, I think that's the thing that nails the head. Like if you can live like that, you win.
Yeah. There's like this whole life is just about like permission to be who we are. Can we give ourselves permission to be who we are at our core? And that's it. It doesn't have to be more complicated than that. And it's like, what does that mean? How do I experiment with that in different situations? For me and you, it seems to be around people, like in particular. Like I learn about myself around other people more than sitting alone meditating in my little temple over here in the corner of my room. I love that spot, but like there's just something about the aliveness of another
Yes.
person that I just it
Saints and pairs.
Saints and Bears, baby.
It's the air. The air changes. You can access things that you can't with your singular subconscious mind, but when both minds come together, it's like an oasis forms between them. So, I've been collecting. At first, I felt nervous and actually like I didn't want to hurt anyone's feelings, let alone yours, around this idea of like saints and pairs. But like you and I was like one of the first saints and pairs, like things that I named and voiced. But then it's like I met other people that had this aura and this energy aura. I'm literally so like
Bro,
that's
let's
like a
go.
that's like a Gen Z term going crazy right now. Uh, yeah, but there's this energy and right, and that this girl that I'm telling you about has the same, and it's
Mm-hmm.
amazing because there is this sort of saints and pairs becoming normalized, and I think you too. You have met people and now have like had this essence that is like amplified dynamics between you and others. And I see, dude, that 5 hours you spent with that person the other day, like these conversations you're having and where it's going to, it's the same.
Yeah. 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 It's
Exploring
amazing.
the psyche.
And there's something about like being in that energy with someone else where like you two are co-creating something and arriving at something like that probably could not have arrived at on your own, that it makes it so fun because you don't know where it's going to go.
Yes, yes. I call it
Like
the laddering. It's like,
it's like we don't know where we're going, but we're going somewhere fucking good. We're going somewhere good.
which is why our pods get crazy at like 30, 40, 50 minutes in. We start
Bro.
off, it's like, yeah, share your heart with me. And it's like, all right, I'm going through this and going through that. And it's just like, it's like an elevator.
Facts, dude. Facts.
Pulling up, there was any some meaty juice on the bone here for some of these questions. um, have you had any movements on the tension about LA in the last 48, 24 hours? And do you want to tell the audience? I don't think you've ever said it on the pod. Do you want to tell them
Mm-mm.
like what's happening?
This guy's been trying to get me to say this out loud for the last 3 weeks.
You don't have to say it's happening. You could just say that, you know. I've been clowning on you. I want you to know I wasn't saying this. I wasn't saying this so that I could put you
No,
in
bro, I love
the
you.
decision making box.
I love it.
I wanted to
I know.
have this space.
You're good. You're good. I'm just fucking with you. Um, yeah. So just for background, um, I'm gonna give the background like where this all comes from. So I moved here a year ago, from LA area, which is home, which I mean was home and is home. But in January, I went to Vipassana retreat, 10 days silent disconnection from everything, technology, et cetera, et cetera. And I had an epiphany, basically, or for the woo types, like a download. I had a download, and now I feel like sneezing, and it's gone. And so basically, I got this realization that, like, I I want to move back to LA. And it wasn't just like this small desire. It was like I was slapped across my whole body, my whole being, my soul, like something hit it, and it was like a snap of a finger kind of thing. And it's just I remember I was going for a walk, and it came out of nowhere. The first night at the retreat, by the way, I don't think I can share this with you. The first night at the retreat, I went to my little dorm room, and one of my old friends back home sent me a text a few weeks prior to the retreat saying like, just I think she was just checking like, hey, how have you been or something, like it's been a while, and something about that message, and this is before I found just kind of like a tribe of people I found, so I was feeling kind of lonely at the time, and something about that like broke my heart, that like somebody is checking in on me like that from this kind of
Mm,
older life, and it made me like really miss home. And that first night at the retreat, I just, dude, I was bawling. I literally started crying so hard in my
mm,
bed, just like 9:30 p.m. lights off kind of thing. And I just start crying, thinking about everything I've left behind. And I didn't think anything of it. I'm like, okay, like this is grief that is moving through me. I moved to a new place. I've left my life behind. Like this is a human thing. Like, of course, I'm actually grateful that this is happening. So I just let the tears flow. But it wasn't like I want to go back, right? At that point, it was just like, but the sadness is here and it wants to be released. 3 days later, on the fourth day of the retreat, is when this thing happened, and it hit me of like going back. And I fought. Like the weird thing about it is, typically when you make a life choice like this, there's a lot of thinking, right? It's like, okay, pros and cons list. Okay, going to a new city, let me figure out where I want to live, and like let me figure out like how do I make friends and all this stuff. Like there's this whole calculation. This was the other way around. It was like move to LA was like this knowing that came to me, and then my mind was trying to make sense of it. Like, wait, you just moved here like 7 months ago at the time. How could you possibly be ready to move back? Wait, what are you going to do there? Like, wait, what? So all these questions started coming up, and one by one, I started to get answers in the silence of the retreat. And there was like a couple of things that came through. One was start a community in LA, like a community that's this energy, basically.
mm,
So yeah, it's like go, because I know there's people in LA that resonate with this. It's a huge city. It's a huge city. And there's something there for me. Also, I don't know about this, but like I don't know what it is, but something's calling me to start my own thing. And it's not my thing. It's just like a space for people to gather who resonate with this. And I don't know anything beyond that right now. um, so it was that. It was like, honestly, it was those two things. Moved to LA, started community. The thing that was a question for me was like money, income. And so you and I, we've been on this kick the last 3-4 months of like, we got to get a job. Let's go back into the 9 to 5. You have your businesses and you're kind of like tired of the entrepreneur life and you want to have the stability and safety of a paycheck, right? And I've been unemployed for the last like 6 months. So I'm also like, it'd be nice to have some steady income. But I think we're both starting to change tunes on that. I'm starting to move away from that idea. Save a couple of companies that I feel very resonant with. And now I'm thinking about my coaching practice supporting me full time. So that was the only question mark. So now to answer your question, so we're now 2 months after the end of the retreat. 3, and my lease renewal is coming up in June. And so the question now is very much staring me in the face of, what are you doing, bro? And in my heart, like, dude, my heart is like literally torn. Not even torn. It's actually like just broken about leaving, because I know in my soul that this is not about my preferences or what I want. This is something bigger than me that's asking me to move back. And I'm being asked to trust it. I just know it. But like I'm also just a human being, and so like I'm feeling so much sadness. Every single day here is like heartbreaking, because it's one day closer to when I'm leaving. And I'm just appreciating this city so much, all of like I'm just looking out my window right now. There's just like beautiful greenery. There's so much greenery in the city. There's so many trees and like birds. Like the sound of birds. I love birds. Like I have a very spiritual connection to birds. Birds everywhere in the city. They're very loud. There's so much nature. Trails everywhere. Literally, there's like dirt trails built into the fabric of the city. So no matter where you live, within 5 minutes, you can go get like a little slice of nature. None of this exists in California. You don't have rain. You don't have. It's so dry that it's not green. You don't have water unless you go to the beach. You have mountains, which is like my like home. I love mountains, but you have to work to get to nature in California. Over here, nature is right outside your door. So like that's one aspect of it, and then obviously like leaving you is probably like we still have to have a heart to heart about it because like I probably have to have a good cry at some point.
I already dreamt about it like twice.
I want to like yeah, that's something that will happen, and probably not on this podcast, but like I feel like we have a road trip next week. We're going to Houston. I'm not saying that's when anything's gonna happen, but like, bro, I'm gonna miss the fuck out of you, and like that's one of the hardest. That's probably the hardest thing about leaving, if I'm being honest. Like
That's
the
the
nature
hardest
stuff.
thing about you leaving. I'm like, bro, this city isn't gonna be the same. I'm about to fill a void straight up.
Yeah. So, but I know that like, yeah, my coach keeps reminding me, and I'm also getting reminded of this, that like the things that are true to us, the things that we love, they don't leave. You know, so it's yeah, I'm not physically here, but in some way, we're always gonna have like we'll have this
Be
podcast
connected. Yeah, literally.
always, but also just like there's technology and there's I think this is the beginning. This is not the end. You know what I mean?
Good luck running far enough, bro. I'll find you.
And we'll just throw San Diego in the picture at some point, you know. That's still in the fabric of.
Actually, I'm supposed to go. Diego. There's some woods that my friends want to go camping in Cali, and we're gonna take a train from Austin to San Diego, and then San Diego up.
Is it
So you should,
the redwoods
it might
or
be
the Mira Woods? Okay, Mira Woods are by
I think
San
that's the second
Francisco.
one. Something like that.
Dude, that'll be awesome. Taking a train, that's wild. That's awesome.
I just want to. I've been wanting to take these. You know how I feel about trains, bro.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But I'll have to see you when I'm out there.
Bro, it's crazy. It's crazy. It you know, something I think about a lot. I think about going back. I may have to stop in my parents' place and live in the family home for a little bit, which is has its own set of like I feel shame around that. Like, oh, I'm going back to my family home and all these things. And some part of me is like dreading the first like week where I go there, I sleep, I wake up, and I'm like, did I even move to Austin? Like, was this whole experience just a dream?
Whoa. I'm already tripping just thinking about this.
Yeah, because this year here has, dude, it has felt like a fever dream. So many crazy
No, you
experiences.
like you know those. I mean, you're such a movie buff. Like I'm visualizing. I don't know what movie it is, but you're in this place. You're like kind of in a dark spot. Yada yada. You can't see clearly, and then all of a sudden, like you go to this dream. You go to this alternate universe. Life completely becomes like lighter and lighter and lighter, and then all of a sudden, like you wake up and you're back home, and you're not the same person.
Exactly. And I'm not the same person anymore. And I'm like, like part of me is the identity, the mind is like, oh my God, you're taking a step back. You go, da, 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 da. And then the deeper part of me is like, no, you're not the same person. This is gonna be a beautiful journey going back. Like it's gonna be, I can already feel, just like I felt moving here, going back is going to be an adventure in itself. This has felt like, bro, this last year has just felt like just a fever dream. Like a mini my friend Antonio, he keeps calling it a mini retirement. It's like this is a mini retirement for like a year. Even though I worked a little bit in the startup, but like it has felt like
sabbatical.
Sabbatical. Thank you. That's the word. Sabbatical.
Yeah. Yeah. Find yourself again. Know where you want to orient your North Star.
And just 1 year.
That's all it took.
1 year. I don't even. 1 year ago, I was here looking for apartments. You and I got dinner at that spot. That was a year ago. We met 1 year ago, dude. Probably. Wait, April. Today is Friday. We met on a Friday. We literally met a year ago.
So insane. It's so insane, the stuff that happens. Kind of the amazing ride of life. It's so like with things like this, it's like actually the opposite of abandonment. It's it's like someone comes and seals like a patch on your boat, like seals the crap out of the patch in your boat, and then you just like keep sailing and you like know them and they like work on the boat with you, and it's just like doesn't matter where you live. Like we've weathered enough storms. We've we're too similar, bro. It's just too similar.
Yeah.
It's a kindred spirit.
I'm sure one day we'll unlock some telepathic abilities, and we'll just speak in the spirit world. did
I'll
you
be
did you
talking to
hear?
you in your dreams, bro.
Dude, there's this docuseries thing that came out on Spotify called the Telepathy Tapes. Did I tell you about this?
Of the twins?
Uh, no. Oh, wait, maybe no,
Keep going.
not the twins. There was this like basically the documentary was about how there's these kids that are um, autistic and non-verbally autistic, so they can't speak. And around the world, this person did an investigation, and they found out that these non-verbal autistic children communicate with each other in a astral realm at this place called the Hill, where they all go, and for them it's so normal. Like they don't think it's some crazy thing. They that's just like, oh yeah, like we go to the Hill and chat and hang out.
How can
And
they even verbalize that?
verbal, what do you mean? Oh, it's like they
The
write,
hill.
they
They
write or
write.
whatever. Yeah,
And they all, without knowing each other, have written like we go to the hill, like
yeah.
unanimously amongst all these
And it's
people.
called the Hill. It was crazy. So we'll
Dude,
find our
send this
version
to
of that.
me. Yeah. I know we got the tizzy, bro. I'm dead.
I'm tismed up for sure. So
Me and the hill go crazy. I'm gonna start sledding down that shit.
I want to ask you something else. How's your relationship with God been recently?
I feel like in this season right now, I had my retreat where like I went and I saw him and I spoke to him and he was very close and all, and I could find him by myself, so to speak, in my heart of hearts. And then the stimulation, the re-entering life, I was like, where are you? Kind of feel a little far. And when I pray, it feels like it doesn't feel like he's not there, but it feels like it's almost like, hey, what are you doing? And it wasn't until recently, again, this week, these friends, like I had this moment recently where I was like, he showed up in my friends. These conversations I'm having, conversations I've had with you, conversations I've had with this group, one on one with them, this other girl, like I feel him there. The conversation goes to a place, my heart feels more loved. I go to bed thinking about what they said, and it's God. Like it's the same essence of when I found him by myself or in my prayer. But in this season, he's like, hey, this is how I'm gonna show up. And now that I'm saying it out loud, I think it's because he wants me to heal relationally. I There's something about letting other people being in your life and like being a little bit weak in the sense that like it's good to have others and like need others and want others around and having people that also desire the same with me, and it like reestablishing that idea in my mind of like, oh, like I don't have to do life alone, like there are other people. And yeah, he doesn't want me to like lean on him so much with my own strength and my own understanding, but to like be with them and like let myself find them with these others.
Yo, that hits so hard. That hits. That hits. Yes.
You know what I mean? I
Yes.
feel like you've been in a similar season.
Oh my goodness. So you feel like this kind of like solo where you were kind of trying to understand and connect with God on your own, that that's kind of like resolved in some sense. And now it's more of like, how do I find you, or how do I see you in my relationships, my friendships, like just kind of in the ordinary things. Is
Yeah,
that
but it's not like I was like, okay, how do I see you in these? It's just like I would go to pray by myself, but it would be more in a lonesome way. It was like, okay, like work all day, maybe so call someone during lunch, do my thing, and then I'm praying, and it's almost like the prayer wouldn't make sense. It's like it's like a circular hole, and I'm coming in with the square, and I'm like, all right, God, like I'm trying to hear you, and He's like, bro, what are you doing? I'm like, what do you mean? Like, what are you talking about, bro? We've been talking for weeks, bro. Like, we back, we boys. Like, stop hanging up the phone. And He's like, you're calling the wrong number. I'm like, you gave me your number, bro. Like, I know what number this is. And then suddenly I meet these people, I get closer, and I'm having these conversations, and at one point I'm like, oh wow, the line, the speaker's been on. Like but what number is this? I'm like,
dude, I got chills. I just got chills.
I'm like, what channel is this? What the hell? Like, how do I tune back in? And then I leave, and I'm like, and I go home and I pray. I'm like, thank you for that, but also like, bro, what the heck's happening? Where's the channel? And he's like, bro, you don't get it. And then it happens again, and then suddenly it's like I'll have this feeling of I want to say this to this other friend of mine, but like I kind of feel nervous to say it, and then I say it, and it just leads to this crazy convo. And I at somewhere in there, I always notice I'm like, oh my God, you're in the room again. And I'm like, what's the signal? What's the tune? And like just right now, I'm finally realizing I'm like, he's like, now you know how to pick up the phone, bro.
You know, the other night, dude, the other night when we were at the Mount
hmm
Bonnell, but
Mount Bonnell, get your bunion looking at
it's
Mount
like Mount
Mount
Everest.
Bonnell. Yeah, get out of here.
Mount Bonnell,
Mount Bonnell,
which is a vibe of a spot here in Austin.
fire.
Kind of
Go at like
overlooks,
10 p.m.
yeah, overlooks the hills. Beautiful. Um, shoot, I lost my train of thought. What were we talking about?
Talking about the signal, like noticing God, like picking up the phone. Um, and we were talking there, I think.
There's something that we were talking about there. I lost the thread, but something about what you're saying right now
Mm.
is really, it's resonating with me. Like, man, I had something to say and I freaking lost it. I had something to
I
say.
hate that. I hate that. I feel like in your life right now, it's been happening too. Like you said, you have all these friends, so many friends coming up recently. You hung out. Now, like, I mean, I don't know if you want to say names or not, but like, there's these two girls that you're friends with that you're getting like really deep and close to. You have like these three guy friends now, like, and I feel like you
Yeah,
feel God at least in some of these combos with them.
with the women especially.
Yeah,
With the women
bro,
especially.
same. You know
I
how I feel about that.
Yeah, yeah. I have never seriously ever connected with women this way before. The way I'm connecting with these two, and it's purely platonic. Like there's no romance to it. But like we're going in, and we're like, there's still a bit of guardedness between, because I'm still learning how to be completely unguarded around people. I don't want to carry, and it's still a practice. So it's almost like I meet these people and they're also on a similar journey of like, I want to also be me. And so we enter this like friendship, and we're both together, like our boundaries are dropping. And like the other day, I was hanging out with one of my friends, who you'll meet next week. She, like, we had a moment where like I felt her touch my soul. And like in maybe a more grounded way of saying that is like there was absolute intimacy in that. Like there was no part of me that was hiding from her in that moment, and vice versa. And we
Mm,
like the connection just went crazy after that. Like the rest of the conversation was so good. And I realized like this person is cut from the same cloth as we are. Like she is so pure. She literally does not walk in this world with an agenda. She wants to relate to people, and she wants to like be herself. And she also needs like her me time and all this stuff. And like I've just never had that depth of friendship before with a woman in any way. Like I've only known this person for like 3 months. And then there's this other person that you mentioned. We've spent a couple of days hanging out. The last time we spent like 5 hours or something like that, unplanned. It was very spontaneous. We were just planning to get dinner, and like it just was like, no, let's keep hanging out, let's keep doing other things. And it was like, again, it just felt like a dream the whole day. I was like, how effortless is it to connect with these women that are so open-hearted and so pure. There's no one trying to prove anything. There's no like games being played. It's just like two souls, just like they're just dancing.
yeah.
It's so fun. It's so
It's
fun.
so fun, bro. I can't get enough. I literally cannot get enough. And it's so crazy because I think my whole life, no, especially like later in college and from a religious group, people always misunderstood my intents and my essence around what that was happening. And I never had this maturity, other people to model it and words to put it together of like, I'm not trying to hit on these people. I just want to dance. It's probably what a woman feels when she's attractive and she goes to a bar and she's like a country bar and she's everyone wants to ask her to dance and she's like, I don't want these lustful looks that or whatever. You're gonna get my number and like I just want to dance with you. I'm a girl. I just want to feel pretty and dance. And like whatever the male equivalent it is like what I have felt. And I feel like in this domain that you're naming of like, it's beautiful that these women are mature enough that I think for both of us, there's this era of everyone's subtly acknowledged we're not, this isn't a thing. We don't want each other like that. But there's a pull we have to each other. There's a polarity. And one of them even told you, I'm looking for a safe, good masculine presence. I don't know why. I just keep thinking about you in this way. What a beautiful, beautiful opportunity to like heal and connect and to go deeper in this polarity energy without it needing to be muddied or disordered and then reopen up the same crap that like probably has happened to them already, right? It's like, how do you exist in this space with the other sex properly? Um, and when you do it, it it's like the saints and pairs thing. Like it just goes crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for some reason it's like the frequency at which my soul likes to exist on. And I for a long time I've judged it of like, oh bro, I'm just extracting intimacy from these human beings. Like I'm just like I don't know if it was a vampire, but it was like I had been pigeoned or labeled as this like you it's like a validation fix. And I was like, I don't care about what they think about me in that sense.
Yeah.
It's the conversation. I was like, if a dude was having, this is why we're so close friends because you and I have these conversations and we're not opposite sex. That's it. That's literally it. It's as simple as that. Um, we can go there.
Well, you are literally a saint. Literally. You're a titan and a saint. It's like the other day, and Mount Bonnell, we're talking, and I'm like, I asked you, like, hey, do you feel like there's a part of this like draw to go there with people so deeply that's coming from like trauma? Like, could it be a pattern? And the way you said, like, no, like there was just no doubt. And it felt so clean. That response from you felt so
Mm,
clean.
mm.
Like, I know it's true. Like, this is truly like a gift, and a frequency and a connection that you have. And people feel it, dude. People feel it.
It's so interesting how things like this that can appear pure to some people or from some people can actually be a little disordered or what, or twisted or whatever, but I've seen it, I've got it, I understand it, but this has been my nature since I was a kid. That's why even when I was trying to give it grace and like some humility of, hey bro, maybe I have my moments, but I'm just like, dude, it doesn't even. This is a song of my heart. It's the song of my heart, bro. It's the song. It's the melody that plays. Like it's like a deep within. Like I don't know how to put this into words, but I think you'll get what I'm saying. Of like you told me you had a dream or some moment where you felt there was a melody playing. Oh shit, it was.
Mm,
You know exactly what I'm talking about. And there was a melody repeating, and you're like, there's something about this that feels like the
mhm.
almost like the melody of my soul or whatever.
Yeah.
This essence that I'm telling you about has a frequency and it has a movement and it's almost like a song. And we're talking about dancing, like the irony of our analogies, like it's we're we're dancing around this thing that is our essence, that is the thing we want to connect to, which is this love. It's God. It's all the same, right? And we're just. It's ironic our language. Just I'm noticing in our combo, but that thing that I'm circling, it has a melody, and I've I'm getting chills. I've known its sound, and I've known its taste, and I've just known it from really like before I can remember. It was like the first noise that my heart knew. And I think there's like echoes of it that I look for years later. It's just what I'm looking for all the time.
It's who you are.
And when I find it in others, or when I start to play the music together and I can amplify the song in my heart, bro, you're gonna tell me I'm gonna leave early? You're gonna tell me that I'm gonna be restraining of that? I'm gonna be prudent? Like, what are you talking about? I'm gonna, yeah, I'm gonna toot the horn or whatever. Like, the trumpet is gonna play, the piano is gonna go off. I know you know, bro. I know you know. It's the craziest thing. I'm speaking Chinese, but I know you know. So little now. So little.
Dude, what you said really, it touched something real in me just now. Like, I don't have words right now. Can't. Bro.
Uh, yes, sir. I blacked out when I started saying it, so it's like so ironic. I don't know.
Oh, my goodness, dude. The frequency, what you just shared, what you just said is so fucking high that like
Hmm. The body didn't know what to do.
the body was like, what do I do with this energy? This energy is so clean. And I recognize it, man. Oh, this is you. This is you. This is like this is your thing, man. This is like, and I know like a lot of this has just been about you like learning to trust it, right? Like you doubted it. You were like, yeah, I mean, maybe it's this, maybe that. But bro, there is no doubt in my heart. Like if I don't think I had any doubt, honestly, but leading up to this conversation, but especially after what you just shared, there's like the way that this touched me, that Titan, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
I don't know why you keep using that word, but I love it. There's something about that word that I'm like, whoa, like I'm in awe of it. Like,
Bro, I love you. Just keep following your heart because not like you have any choice. but
Yeah. Yeah, I go straight for 1 minute. I'm like, who am I? Our freaking sensitivity and radars have just become so crazy.
when I was spending time with the other friend the other day, the woman, I wish I could just drop names, but
I know, dude.
I feel like I want to respect the privacy of that.
Respectful. Yeah.
She said something and it touched me. It touched my heart. It touched something real in me in a similar way, and I had a similar response to her too. There's something about when someone is speaking from their authentic truth and their frequency of their own true self that like I register, I feel it, and that's how I know like she's connected to. I mean, I call it God, I call it whatever, like it's God in my opinion, in my belief system or whatever, but they're connected to that. She's connected to that, you're connected to that, and it's so hard. I can tell even for her how, and I'm curious what your read is when you meet her, but I'm so
Mhm.
like the challenge in this life is like fully leaning into and trusting what that is, because the world wants it, but like it ironically might trigger people because it's such a high frequency, um, that it brings up the ways that people are distorting, and they're not able to access that same feeling that they feel off of you. And then those who can receive it, right? But like I can even tell with her, it's like she's still learning to trust what that is for herself. Like, and it's all the reason we don't trust it is just there's some stories or some beliefs that we hold about, you know, I'm not good enough, basically, right? This isn't real. Like, how do I trust this? There's no one in the world and it's like this journey of coming to trust it in your own way that's independent of anyone outside of you and through your own experiences. And like that's how that knowing starts to come through.
It's so weird when, again, dude, this only comes out when we're an hour into the pod. Like my heart's in a different space where I'm like I couldn't access this an hour ago, and now I'm not in Earth. Like I'm just like when you're on Earth, you have earthly fears, you have earthly voices and concerns about what is this person going to say. I'm not there. I don't, and it was the craziest part is you start to care and measure yourself by like love, and not in a critical way, but like if people watch this part of the pod, they just skip the whole thing and they just heard me saying this, and you weren't dropped into this frequency, you'd be like, oh, these guys are just saying mumbo jumbo. Like, what the heck is happening? But, and the irony is, if I heard them say it right now, it would just like bounce. It would be like, okay, cool, thanks. Um, Remember I told you those 2 years where I always felt God? It's this on online.
What are you feeling right now? What have you been
Yeah, I
feeling
mean,
recently?
I don't know if you've been feeling it at the end of this convo too, but
Yes.
like this just didn't turn off. Like it was like the human component or the whatever's just like the telecoms just shut off, and it was just like this feeling and signal and clarity, like just on, just literally like there was no off button. Um, yeah, so like I felt the spirit always. I knew what to say. I said crazy things. The conviction, I'd black out plenty of times. Like, it's- yeah,
I'm still like kind of speechless. I'm like I feel everything very somatically. So right now, my solar plexus, my heart, and my gut, it feels like I just recognize the sensation as we touch something real. The way you like, I like the way you say we're like the spirit is here with us. when we start laughing like that, you know the spirit's here.
That's one of his things. It's one of his things. I keep having I'm having this feeling that God is saying like how beautiful that you know and you can recognize me. I've been feeling that on repeat for the last like 40 seconds. He just like how happy it makes me to know. It's like that's the wrong word, but it's you get it. He's just like it's just that we can recognize him, dude. Like what the heck? Like I just feel him so close and he's like literally like so happy that his children, like his two sons, like his his own, bro, his own. He's just there like, bro, they literally know me.
I feel like I'm rolling right now.
Exactly. It's crazy. I don't know what's going on.
Since yesterday, I've been feeling a percentage of this too. Something is shifting where like the tension and stuff I've been talking about is like there's something on the other side of it I'm beginning to touch, and
Mm,
it makes me emotional because it's so pure. It's so pure. And there's still some I can feel some part of me is like, you're not worthy of this. But like that voice is getting softer and softer and softer. Um and just where we went today, like you can't make this up, man.
I'm getting another like it's just crazy that there is a love that exists that is so deep that when one feels it, like they're not the same. Like I feel like even in our friendship, like right now I'm tasting again the feeling I used to have when I had God close to me all the time. And it's from our conversation. And right now I don't feel the same. I don't feel human in a not in a bad way, but like there does exist a love that is so potent that like it can eradicate all fear. I'm like visualizing like its potency, just like engulfing in this scenario. Tell me what you see.
Right now I feel this like duality of this potent purity, and there's a tension that's with it that I feel both.
Mm.
What are you seeing?
My phone alarm, of course. The have you heard the song? I'm gonna send it to you, but I think we can close on this. It's a song that I love. I think it's John Bellion crossover with some other one where it's like love so deep it washes over me. It's all around. Can you see? You are my everything. There's something that I think it's like I'll sing it for a second. It's like love so deep it's washing over me. Your grace is all I see. You are my everything. That has been looping while you were talking. It's like in love so deep, it washing over me.
Mm,
Your grace is all I see. You are my everything. Just like it's like the only thing that I think's like somewhat fitting. I know you get it.
thank you.
Yeah, dude. It's so crazy.
All right, let's wrap this. This is what a ride this has been.
This float about to go crazy.
So
This float tank is I'm already on Astro plane right now.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for tuning in today's episode of Saints and Pairs. We'll see y'all next time, and stay kind. Peace out.